Hello, everyone. I welcome you to yet another episode of When You Meet a Leader. I thank you, Rainier Avenue Radio, for giving me this opportunity and platform to interview a very exciting guest today. I am your host, Vasudha Sharma. I am an author. I am also founder of nonprofit Voice of Planet, and I'm delighted to present our next guest, Meenal Drockz. Meenal Drockz is an IT project lead at Fraser Health, one of the largest health authorities in Canada. She influences a lot of women, especially in the world of corporate and fashion, to be able to pursue their passion even if there are limitations. Being in corporate like herself, Meenal is a hustler. She is Miss Asia BC Canada, former Miss India Seattle USA, influencer, and pageant coach. She's also a business analyst and PM coach. She's content producer, motivational speaker, weekend model, and actor for corporate folks. She recommends managing their time and balancing their passions in between their work life. For individuals seeing an opportunity in the fashion world, she is encouraging them to say no to heightism. That's her campaign to learn how she surpassed all barriers and was able to be part of prestigious fashion events in spite of being short in height. She is a firm believer of determination and dedication, as she believes that once you have both virtues, you're an unstoppable woman. So, welcome, Meenal.
Hello, Vasudha. Thank you. And it's always a pleasure seeing you.
Hi, we are so fortunate to have you, Meenal. We are excited that you are with us today. My first question to you is your work in information technology field as a program manager. You have been pageant title holder, model on weekends, coach after office hours, and how do you manage the time to wear so many hats? How do you do that?
Well, first of all, thank you for a warm introduction. And I think you probably know the answer to this question because you yourself wear a lot of hats. You're a book author, you have your nonprofit, you do a lot of businesses and successfully. So I think it all boils down to time management. The way I manage my time is, of course, Monday to Friday, I'm busy in my office life, but then after office, I think I like to invest my time into coaching. It just gives me a very satisfying feeling that I'm able to help others to grow in their areas. And that could be either, somebody who wants to move into an IT career, which is to take business analysis as a career path or project management, or it could be from the fashion field, somebody who wants to uh, be a pageant queen or, become an influencer. And I think I like that mix because it allows me to also switch my fields. Sometimes you get bored with your monotonous office job and just talking about studies and being into the geeky world. Then this sort of fashion mix allows me to have a good balance for myself. And then I think, I do know that we all spend time on Netflix and maybe social media for 2 to 3 hours every day, but I decided to cut that down, and I would be on social media just for 15 minutes. I would rather invest my time into these sort of activities like coaching, or maybe my for my own personal development, like being a motivational speaker, or going out for events where I get to network. So I think I would say I use my weekend time and my evening hours on that instead of spending too much on Netflix or watching movies. Although I wouldn't say that you shouldn't. You should definitely have some rejuvenation somewhere. Like, don't go crazy. So I also have my days when I take an off. Like, there would be times in the week where I probably wouldn't take coaching. I would probably only do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursday, Friday. I would take a chill pill. But I think for every individual's life, there's enough time in their hand if they know how to use it and if they focus on that and if they try to find time, basically.
Oh my God. Well, knowing you personally, I definitely call you a superwoman. I think you handle it so brilliantly. You have set a great example for a lot of women. that there is no limitation to following passion. You can have a job and you can definitely have your passion equally important to you, and do it very successfully. So kudos to you to set a great example, and you're so inspiring. So my next question to you is, what inspired you to get into coaching? You are a very famous coach in this area, and you have lived in Seattle as well. So what do you all coach about?
So I think I've always liked coaching, I think from childhood, because my mom has been a professor. So I think I was gifted, like it was in my blood. I remember in my childhood days, I used to be like choreographing shows, like as a dance choreographer, or anytime I got an opportunity, I love to be a leader and sort of guide all the children in the school. And I realized people listened to me. Like I felt like as a small young girl, I saw that I am influential, and people are listening to me. So I felt like I knew that is my skill, where I'm able to influence people, and I'm able to, I have that empathy of understanding what is going in a person's mind, what would suit them, because that's what a coach is for, wherein they understand the skill set of the other person and then they know how to leverage it in order to give them the success. And I always say a good coach is the one who prepares their student or or anybody who is learning from them in a better way than they themselves are. So I want to produce better students, and with that intention in my mind, when I was in my college, I know I was already in the young boys and girls club in order to coach them, on in the field of accounting. That time, I was more of an accounting student, but then as I did my MBA, I knew my skill set as a business analyst and project manager. So I decided to join the young boys and girls club in USA, and anywhere I was able to mentor them, I was able to. And then I saw that they were able to get jobs because of me. And I remember one time there was this young guy, 21, 22 years old, and he landed the first job, which was like 75 to 80,000 USD in US. And I think that was the very first time when I realized that I'm a good coach and I think I can help a lot of people. And that's how I came up with the scholarship program as well, where I give scholarships to underprivileged. So somebody who cannot afford my coaching and still wants to move into the IT career and they don't have coding experience, then I coach them for free as my volunteer in my volunteer time. But of course, people who can afford, I do send them my my coaching program package for the ones that can afford my program. And then as I was moving into the field of pageant, because I have myself been a pageant winner and I've done a lot of shows in India, and that's where the cost came from, the say no to heightism, because I used to fight in India where they never used to give opportunities to short heighted models. I did a lot of fight there, and I made sure that I'm available and I'm sort of visible on every platform. So I thought of taking that here, and I thought of entering the world of pageant and the world of fashion weeks, so that a short model is able to represent. So I did New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week, Seattle Fashion Week, and every Fashion Week, Vancouver Fashion Week. And I just wanted to let the world know that even if you're short heighted, yes, they will stop you from walking the ramp. But then if you talk to the designers and if you discuss and if you show their talent, then once you show the talent, they cannot stop you. So that's how I started doing coaching on pageant, and the pageant coaching program started from there. And then the influencer one, I think it's a very trending industry right now. A lot of people want to work with brands, but they don't know how to get paid by brands or how to network with brands or even how to find them. So I did a good 1.5 year of study, and I was able to crack that code, because unfortunately nobody's talking about it on YouTube. And I'm assuming because every coach is probably hiding that secret. But I am here to no more hide the secret. So if anybody wanted to learn from me, I gave that opportunity. And the same scholarship program applies for all three of my programs. If anybody is underprivileged, I coach them for free. And if anybody has the finance to pay me, then they can go to my package, and I'll be happy to mentor them.
So it's like a sliding scale. You let it. You don't say no to anybody. Who wants to come to you for training. If they can
Definitely.
definitely. Yeah. So you have kept a lot of options available. That's really good because unfortunately that could be a barrier to some people, especially the underprivileged. So I think that's a great service you are doing to all the people who are trying to achieve their dreams. So that is very motivating to me personally as well. And I see a lot of your motivational posts and talks about topics that a lot of people fear to talk about. One such topic you often talk about is heightism. So why is that topic so important to you?
So, and I guess you would probably agree with that because I think maybe you and I are pretty much, similar height as far as I remember seeing you last time in Seattle, maybe a little taller than me. But we have seen the industry, and this is all over the world. Like, I think the industry standards earlier were they always took 6'1" or maybe 5'6" and above in the field of pageant and also in the field of modeling, which include runway shows. And even in Bollywood or Hollywood, earlier if you saw all the James Bond girls and everybody was short, like tall. So this is how the industry has been going on. And then as and when industry started evolving, we did get some celebrities who were short-heighted, but then they made entry into Bollywood. But then there was not much scope for short-heighted girls still in the field, in the run on the runway, and also in the world of pageant. So I saw that for myself. I got rejected in a lot of auditions, and I knew I was very good at catwalk. I knew that I am very talented. So I went a step beyond where I used to go and ask organizers the question that, hey, if you think I'm not catwalking correctly, or if I'm not doing, as you guys want, as the show standard, then yes, you have the right to reject me. But if you're rejecting me because of short height, then I don't think I'm going away today. So that is how I used to stay there, and I never used to leave. And then it ended up to a point where, you know, I think people started talking about it. Everybody was like, oh my God, if she can do it, I can do it too. And then there was a time where, you know, people started objecting, these organizers and designers and also the field of pageant, that hey, we have talent, you got to take us. And if you notice right now, a lot of international pageants have actually removed the height from the form. I think I had started talking about it from 2005. Of course, it has taken a lot of years, but I think I prominently started talking more about it since 2016. And I'm glad that it's been heard. A lot of people have joined this campaign, and slowly it's changing, but it's not there. There are a lot more runway shows and a lot more pageant organizations that need to incorporate this and completely say no to heightism. And I'm asking every individual, if they ever see any height requirement on any form, they should say no to it and they should object, because I feel like heightism is just like racism. A person should be offended if they are asked about their height. And I'm personally saying that because I am short heighted myself. So, yes, it means a lot to me because I know we are talented. But I do know a lot of taller girls have also joined my campaign because they hear our pain. They understand that, that it's not equal opportunity. So a lot of them have joined my campaign. So I'm very glad about that.
Yeah, your point is more towards like a physical attribute which nobody can control. And if you are being rejected on a physical attribute which you're just born with, and I think that's inclusion is a key here in the modern world, because we don't want to seclude anybody from the opportunities.
Correct.
And I think that is a very important point in the present day. As more awareness, social media campaigns is there, no one should feel that they lack certain opportunities just because they are born certain way with certain physical aspects. And
Yeah.
I actually personally know very beautiful girls who are within the normal height range, and sometimes they do discuss that with me often. I wish I was taller, and I say that sometimes. I wish I was taller, but that shouldn't stop me
Correct.
from trying to pursue something I would love to do in my life. So I think
Correct.
that's an important message.
And Vasudha, one thing to note is this happens even in the matrimonial industry. Like like being an Indian, you know that a lot of Indian guys and their families would want a taller girl when they want to get married. But so this is an industry standard that's going on, and it's time to change. And if we just think about it, that a lot of designers are literally selling clothing to people like you and I. So their target market where they're making revenue from is also short-heighted girls. So what's the point of showing samples on the runway for only taller girls when you're actually selling to everybody? So that is the point that I would like everybody to think about.
One thing I will say is do not refer to yourself as short heighted. You are normal heighted. I personally feel that, there are people who would be an above average height, and that's perfectly okay. But I don't call myself short heighted at all. I feel like I'm just within the normal range. And, that's my question too. When I see runway models, I'm like, well, they are beyond the proportion of normal women. So why they would not target just average women, and they also look into that we want to see how the clothing looks, if
Correct.
a normal average women is wearing it. So I think that's a great point as well. We want to include those features. We want to include every kind of women when we are trying to portray clothes in the clothing line, and especially in the fashion industry, which is heavily dominated by certain attributes. So
Correct.
that's so true. So, I we are in the almost in the middle of the show. I want to thank Rainier Avenue Radio for this opportunity and platform to let me interview someone special like you. It means a lot to have people who are the movers and shakers of society, who are challenging the status quo and trying to make it better for all of us. And you are a leader, so that's why we wanted to have you on the show. So thank you for being on our show. And I'll proceed to our next question. Um, what is the message you would like to give to all our listeners today?
Yeah, I think one message I would give to every listener is that yes, we do, we are always trying to curb what we want to say. And I have been promoting this, that, it's not okay to be silent all the time. Uh, if your heart wants to do something or say something, you need to. Let's not follow what everybody is doing. I see that a lot on social media. Like, if people see a particular trend that everybody's supporting a particular person, then they would blindly support because they want to be a part of that gang. And I feel like I have always been somebody who wants to do what is right. Like using your brain and not going after that quantity. You need to be around quality, and that's what is important. So I'm making a lot of motivational posts about this, that you need to make sure that you keep the toxicity outside, like out of your life. If you're going after quantity, and in that quantity you have a lot of toxic people around you, including your relatives, friends, family, or anybody, co-workers, I don't know, it could, the list may go on, then you need to cut them off, and you need to have a smaller circle, which is, it's okay to have 5 people around you, but those 5 people, if they are trustworthy, that's the support you want. You don't need those numbers. And I know the social media game has change everybody's mind. And I see a lot of young folks, like at the age of 16, 17, under depression because they are going after numbers, they are going after how many followers they have. What is the point of having fake followers when you could just have 10 genuine followers who are genuinely looking at your stuff, or vouching for you? So I think one message that I would like, and maybe as a coach, I would like everybody to know that uh, you know let's not go where the trend is going. Let's go back to our original roots, wherein the world before social media was actually far more better. We didn't know anything that was going on in everybody's life. We were far more satisfied and happier. The day we started seeing everybody else's life, we started being a little bit more dissatisfied. And life is too short, to be honest, to be dissatisfied. Let's think as if there's no social media. It's okay if it's there. You don't need to see everything in full. You don't like it. I call Facebook as fake book, to be honest. People don't show the true life. I'm sorry to say, and I might be in trouble for saying that, but I'm sure even the whole company agrees with that a lot of people just put fake stuff. People don't share their true emotions, and it's all it's like in it's all jolly. The world is too good there. And sometimes, yes, some people do reveal information, or maybe tell if tell about their inner thoughts. But it's best that you have less quantity of people around you who are more motivating, more inspiring, and create that positivity for you to grow. So I would wish all the viewers to sort of create that awareness around them, and do what they like in life. Don't follow the trend.
Yes. So in short, you're telling everyone to celebrate their blessings rather than look at, looking out and comparing their lives. So that's a very important message, I'll say, because we live in a world of information nowadays, and what information is useful and important, we should be able to filter it out. And the only way we can do it is the positivity it brings to us and the inspiration it brings to us. So I will say that's a very, very great note which you have included in this message, and that's so relevant in this current time, especially post COVID, when a lot of events, a lot of people are back in FOMO, fear of missing out, because there's so much happening around them. So we should always have that contentment, that positivity in our hearts. So thank you for sharing that message. But I'm always curious to know, who is your inspiration in life? Like, who do you really feel inspired by?
I think my inspirations have changed. Like they keep changing over the years. Like there was a time when I was more inspired by Bill Gates because of his the way he has changed the whole IT environment and the corporate field. And I always looked up to him to come onto Forbes magazine. And then it slowly changed to Elon Musk and several others. Like when I see all of these young folks suddenly like growing and using their brain to completely create a different solution that probably the world needs, it is really commendable. um, so I don't know who is my main inspiration right now. Like it keeps changing. I do like Priyanka Chopra as well from the women perspective because I feel like she is beauty with brains. She's also a very good entrepreneur. She invests in the right companies in spite of being from Bollywood and making her mark in Hollywood. She does investments in like probably Bumblebee, and then she has her own hairline going on. So I always like women who are business minded, who know how to grow in the field of corporate or in the field of business, and at the same time it's okay if they are in the fashion world. I would probably never have an inspiration who is probably just doing one thing. I always get inspiration from people who are multitasking and who are all rounder, where they are doing a lot more than just one thing. So yeah, I think I'm a firm believer of jack of all trades and master of all. That's my logo.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is your profession, there is your passion, and who knows what your heart, where your heart will take. So you are more into follow your heart and do it, and just believe in doing what you believe in. So I totally agree with you that you know nowadays we see a lot more examples where women are following their heart, and they are doing much more than just trying to be a regular 9 to 5 person. There's nothing wrong to it, but it's important to believe in your dreams. So that's a very important thing which you have highlighted. um, Tell me a little bit about your growing years. What How did you feel when during that time? Did that help you build who you are today? Your time when you
Yeah.
were growing up in India.
I think growing up in India is an experience in itself because there's so much competition that first of all you learn to share space, and then you learn that you don't have the same position. You will never have the same position. Like if I was a ranker in my school, I had to keep striving hard every year because the competition was so much that I knew that if I don't keep up, I am not going to be the rank one. Somebody else is going to take my position, which also teaches you that success or fame is temporary. One day you are up, the second day you could be down because there's always a new person who is better than you. So I think growing in India taught me how to share space, how to work around competition and work with competition without insecurities and without any jealousy, because the thought process should always remain in you that there's always somebody better than you. You are not the best. So I think that's what India taught me while growing up. I, of course, learned a lot of politics because India is populated, highly populated. So wherever there's population, and probably Mumbai being the highly competitive city, taught me a lot of politics where people are always trying to pull you down or maybe trying to do something where it benefits them versus it benefits you. So how to live around that politics, because you can't stop politics from happening, but what you can do is you can be sharp enough and mentally smart enough to tackle that, so that it does not impact you and that nobody can take advantage of you. So I think a lot of things I've learned while growing up in India, and I think that benefits you, right? Where in my journey to come to USA, and now to be in Canada, I think all of those things that I learned while growing up from my friends and everything going around me, I think that actually shaped me up to be a better, smarter, and more of an intelligent personality.
Yeah, you are truly an intelligent personality. I agree to that. And, I think it definitely, being from a diverse background helps you have such an enriched experience in your life. You are truly a star, I'll say, because you try to not only do it, you try to share it, show it, how it's done. So all those qualities make you so unique and so special that, I wanted to congratulate you. And it's such a pleasure to talk to you today. And again, we thank you, Rainier Avenue Radio, for this opportunity to have yet another exciting show of When You Meet a Leader. So before we wrap up today's interview, is there any last comments you want to make to the show, to us? What would you like to say to the audience today?
Yeah, thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me and sharing my thoughts with this audience. And thank you, Rainier, Avenue Radio Station. Thanks, Vasudha, for bringing me on the show, because I love talking to you as always. And I'm inspired. Actually, maybe I forgot saying that I'm inspired by your book, Why She Must Lead. Well, it's not completed. I'm on the 225th page, or maybe 26th. So still some pages to go. But yeah, thank you so much for bringing me on the show. And, I would love to come again whenever there's a need. And it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And wish you good luck with your coaching program. I am looking forward to hearing more success stories and, more inspiring work you have done for women especially, and for people who are facing heightism. So definitely that's a brilliant campaign. So I congratulate you on that as well. It was a pleasure having you today, and have a brilliant day, and just stay the way you are. Take care. Thank you
Thank you.
all of the audience.